Hello. In this small handbag tutorial, here are our tools and our yarn. We're going to be using a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, a 6mm size J crochet hook. The yarns that I will be using is Red Heart Soft in the color Chocolate, Vanna's Choice in the color Rust, Vanna's Choice in the color Terracotta. For this color, we will use 2. Hello. To get started on our tutorial, what you will want to do is to grab one strand from each of the 3 skeins that we will be using from the Vanna's Choice. And we're going to start with a tail of about 6 inches. And let's place a slip knot in it. Tighten it up and chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Alright, the loop on our hook does not count as our completed chain. So we will count our chains that are complete here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in our 5th chain, we're going to place a double crochet. I like to use the top 2 loops, so that's my suggestion, is to go and have the one with the top 2 loops. And we're going to place 3 more. The first row is usually a little difficult in any kind of crochet, in my opinion. Okay, so chain counts as 1 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We want 1 more. So this is what we have so far. Chain 3. And in the next chain stitch, we're going to place 3 double crochets. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's number 3. Now this edging will not be straight when we're complete, but this is part of our design. Now you'll notice that in this chain we've taken up, so here's our next chain. We're going to count over 3. So we got 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th one you want to place a single crochet. This will bring our design to drop down. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, going to skip 2. 1, 2. So in the third one, we're going to place a double crochet, and in the next 4, we're going to place a double crochet. And this is what we will have. After completing our first row, we are going to build up for our second row. So we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. I'm right-handed, so mine heads towards the left. In our first stitch here that you see, that will be considered the double crochet. So we're going to head to the second one and place 1 double crochet, we're going to add 3 more double crochets so that we have a total of 5. Okay, and then we'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3. In this chain 3 that we did on the previous row, we're going to place 3 double crochets there. There's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to skip the single crochet and the 3 double crochets of the previous row, and in the chain 3 we're going to place a single crochet and chain 3. You'll find that in a couple of rows our pattern will start to emerge. The hard part with the 3 strands is for me to wrap it around my fingers. Sometimes my tension gets a little tight. I think you'll find that as you do it too, you'll find that little niche. It'll make it easy for you. So there's 1 double crochet. We're double crocheting to the end of the row where we will put in 5 double crochets. So there's 3. Here's number 4. Now your last one is right here on this chain. You will go into the chain and now pull it right straight up. Give it a nice straight line. Okay, chain 3, and this is our repeat. We're going to turn our work again. Can you kind of see your picture or your pattern emerging now? It's like we're having staggering blocks. So what we'll do is this will be the continuous repeat row. So 5, well, the beginning row we have our chain 3 is 1 double crochet, and now we're going to place in 4 double crochets, remembering that you skip that very first double crochet chain. Okay, so we have placed in 4 double crochets, and our chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And we're going to chain 3 and in the chain 3 space we're placing 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to skip the single crochet and the 3 double crochets of the previous row, and in the chain 3 we're going to add a single crochet and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we have our double crochets. We're going to place 4 across, and then in the end where the chain is at, we're going to place our 5th one. So there's 2, 3, here's 4, and here's our chain. So we're going to go ahead and place 1 in our chain. Oops, I snagged. Make sure you don't snag, so that way your yarn will all look uniform. Okay, and this is what we have so far. I'm going to make 3 more rows of what we've just done. Our repeat row is the same every time, and I'll meet you there. Here's what I have so far, and if you notice when I have stopped, you can see that first ridge. This will be the outside front of the pouch, the flap for our bag. So let's continue on, and we're going to make a straight row across here. So we're going to skip our first, and into our second we'll place a double crochet. And our third is a double crochet. Okay, so we have placed in 4 double crochets so far. On our chain 3, we're going to go under the whole the whole chain stitch, and place in 1 double crochet, and then we're going to make a treble. To make a treble crochet, you go around twice, and then we're going to go under the chain as well. Go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. That's why it's called a treble. We're going to do that treble one more time. We're going to hit our single crochet stitch. Okay, and one more time into the beginning of the 3 double crochets from the previous row. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the double crochets, and then we have the 1 double crochet that goes on the chain, 1 treble that'll go on that chain, 1 treble into the single crochet, 1 treble into the first double crochet, and then we're going to just do a double crochet and another double crochet. Okay, and we're going to continue across here. Okay, and in this chain space here, we're just going to do a half double crochet. That'll help pull that down. And then in our next stitch, we'll do a double crochet. And then we'll continue the double crochet across. Okay, and in our chain we want to pick up that last double crochet. And so this is what we will have. I think it has a nice little design. When we stick it on top of the brown, you'll see how the design really pops out. Okay, so we are going to do one more row for our flap, and then we will call it quits on this color yarn combination. The reason why I chose the colors is because I like the blending effect that it has. You'll find that when you take various colors of yarns and join them together, what a beautiful color effect comes out of it. Now I know this is autumn type colors, but still it can be used any time of year, and I'm just trying to come up with ideas to making things that can be suitable for year-round. So in this row we're just going to go straight across with a double crochet. So in each stitch that we have, we're going to double crochet across, and we should have, counting our chain, including as one double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So you should have 17 double crochets, and remember to include that chain 3 as 1. Okay? So go ahead and complete across to the end of the row, and I'll meet you there. Here's what our flap will look like. At the end here, go ahead and cut your yarn. Don't pull it through just yet, okay? Draw up a loop so that you don't lose your space, and we're going to move on to what we need to do to prepare our yarn for our next step. The brown yarn will be the bulk of the bag, so I'm going to remove the band, and I have some that's already wound here, but what you're going to want to do is you'll want to find the end, here's the end. This comes from the outside. This right here came from the center pull. So what you want to do is you want to join the center pull and the outside, and you want to join them together and make a ball. So you will have one ball of the 2 strands. Go ahead and do that, and I will meet you then. I thought I should show you how I make a ball. I'm going to take it and I'm going to wrap it around my fingers quite a number of times. And then I start again the opposite direction. And then I take what I have and I fold it and start wrapping. Sometimes you'll get yarn gathering and stuff like that. You need to separate those so that you only have the 2 strands in making your yarn ball. So continue with this, and I will see you when you have completed yours. Well, that was fun. Here we are at the end of my yarn ball. This is how big my ball is. Okay, I hope yours turned out easy to undo also. I usually find that sometimes putting it in a box and just letting it do its own thing helps it go a lot faster. Okay, let's get back to putting our hook into our loop, and go ahead and tighten it up. And with a tail of your body color for your purse. Mine is in brown. I'm going to pull it through and create like a chain stitch. We will finish these here in just a second. And chain, we did the one, so we're going to do 2 chains in the brown, and we're going to turn our work. Now you can do one of 2 things with our tails here. Either you can crochet over the top of them in this row, or you can weave them in. I'm going to go ahead and crochet mine in. In this row we will be doing double crochets, so you can take your tails and just fold them over and do your regular double crochet stitches, and this will also keep it in place. Now you'll notice that sometimes when you crochet, even with a ball, it likes to wobble everywhere. So I have a bowl that I use to put my yarn in, and that'll keep it in one location, like so. I use a GoPro camera when I do my crochet because it is always in focus. I never have to worry about my focuses being blurry or anything. I love my little GoPro. I have the Hero 5 Black. And I know they have the 6 out, but I'm fine with what I have. And I use the GoPro app on my phone so that I can monitor my progress, because the GoPro screen has a tendency to go out as I am trying to watch myself crochet to make sure I'm within camera view. Sometimes I get out, sometimes I'm in. Okay, as you can see, crocheting across these tails is pretty simple. The colors blend in with no problem. This will be the top of our bag, and you're going to find that this is a relatively very simple bag to make. Call it a mini messenger bag if you would like. It'd be great for if you're going on a walk and all you want to take is your cell phone and a few personal accessories. It would be small and not bulky and in the way. Or if you just wanted to visit a friend and have something small to say hi with. Okay, now I'm crocheting in the last chain. Okay, so right here, I'm going to pull it over just a little and go ahead and cut those yarns off, and there they are, they're gone. So here is our first row. We're going to, this is our repeat. So chain 3, turn your work over. As I said, this is a very simple crochet bag. So we're just going to go ahead and double crochet in our 17 double crochet stitches, remembering to count the chain 3 as our first one. Now I'm not going to give you how many rows we're going to do on this, because the size that you choose to make will be the size of, will be what you account for how many rows that you want to do. So let me get to the end of this row, show you how to complete this row as well. Also, as you go along on this, you want to count your stitches every time, and remember that the chain 3 does count as one double crochet. So here's our chain. Oops, I'm out of camera side again, sorry. Here's our chain. We want to pick it up, put in a double crochet, and chain 3. And that's all we're doing for this. Here's the front of our bag, because I can tell by the little bottom, this is how our bag will be, so you can open and close it this way. So continue on with the 17 double crochets, and I will see you in a few minutes after I've gotten quite a number of rows done, and I'll tell you how many I have gotten done. Here I have done 11 rows, and if we fold our flap over, the design is to where the fold is actually on the first row of the orangish color. This is how much extra that we will have. So I am planning on doing 22 rows of the brown. So I have 11 more to go, and I'll show you what to do when I completed the 22 rows. As you can see, I have squeezed into my camera lens the 22 rows and our little flap. Okay, I have not cut my yarn yet, so I'm going to fold this over. First I want to make sure that the flap is going to have the nice edge on the outside, so I'm placing it down. I'm going to take this edge and fold it up to here, and where I stop my row at, let me bring it down a little more. Where I stop my row at, I want to increase the length of yarn. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Probably make about 20 inches. And then with my needle, I'm going to go ahead and install it onto through the eye of the needle here. But before I get too far along, I'm going to find my loop opening. I'm trying to find the white background. Sometimes I get out of camera range, I'm sorry. And I'm going to go ahead and take my needle and go through it to close it so that it does not come undone. And then I'm going to tighten it, and that'll complete our crocheting. So let's take our ends and line them up together here. Can you see? Okay, well, here's the bottom, and here's the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to join them together. But first, before I start going down the sides, I want to take a few stitches at the top to tighten it. And then I'm just going to do a casual whip stitch that'll blend in with the design of the crochet. Okay, I'm using my two strands, so as I go down I want to make sure that both strands come out flat, where you don't have one that's longer or shorter than the other. So I'm just doing a basic whip stitch. You can see that this one came out a little bit longer, so we'll pull it in there. Okay, so continue this down to the end here, right here, and I'll meet you down here. Alright, I've made it down here to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I've placed a few stitches in there, and I'm going to run my hand through the opening here, and I'm going to make a weaved in stitch. And you want to stretch it a little so that it will stay with the stretch of the bag if it needs to be. And I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go over again. And I'm going to cut my yarn. Okay, so that's one side completed. So for the other side, let's get some more yarn and string it onto our needle. And we're going to make this about 20 inches as well, so we have enough for the whip stitch. And we're going to start at the top. Most of the times you'd want to start down at the bottom and work your way up, but we want to make sure that when we finish that we have our end right here at the same location on both sides. So I'm going to come through here on my flap to start. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to weave it in 3 or 4 times. So this way we don't have a knot when we start. And remember to stretch it a little. So here I'm going to come back. Okay, and that'll lock it in place. Now, the distance that it is here, you want the flap to be the same distance there. So, I'm placing them both in the same location, and the first couple of stitches will be in the same spot, so that way we can have it nice and tight. Okay, and now I'm going to continue down this edge with my whip stitch, just coming in and going through to the other side, making sure that I pick up some stitches from each side. Continue on all the way down to the end and weave it in on the bottom like I showed you before. So let's go back to our tail from the beginning. Let's go ahead and we're going to weave this in as well. Make sure that when you do weave it in, it is on what I consider the back side, because here's your flap for the front, so you want to weave it in on the back. So this is what we have so far. Next we're going to add on a strap. We're going to be continuing using our double strand of the brown in my case. So we're going to place a slip knot on the hook, and right here where we have our seam at, go ahead and place, let's see if we can get one in here. Go ahead and come up with a single crochet. That'll help lock that right in. Okay, and now we want to chain enough for the length that you want. If you want a cross strap, my suggestion is that you lay your bag in front of you and start your chain stitch that would go from your front around to your back. I'm going to start with 60 chains and I'll meet you there. As you can see, in my case, 60 chains really wasn't very long, so I'm going to add an additional 80 chains, so that would give me 140 chains. After completing the 140 chains, since you notice that our braid is on the outside, we want to follow it along and make sure that it stays flat. And I see a little twist here. Okay, here we go. And we're going to take this and bring it over to the other side. And on this other side, I'm going to place a single crochet as I did on the previous side. So I'm going to insert my hook, bring my yarn up, and complete a single crochet. Now, in every chain back, now this part is optional, I'm going to add one single crochet in each chain going back. That first one was a little hard because it's so close. So a little single crochet in each chain. That means I'll have 140 going back. This won't make the strap too big, but it'll make it so it'll be a little comfortable, because when you have just a plain straight chain stitch, it can dig into your skin and can make it a little uncomfortable feeling. Okay, so we've taken the size of our strap from a chain to about a ½ inch wide. Go ahead and do that to the other side and I'll meet you there. Alright, let's finish our strap. I'm at the last. I've placed a single crochet back into the body of the purse. I'm going to cut it, bring it through, and I'm going to take my needle and take this end and go to the corner there and bring it to the inside so I can weave it in on the inside. Okay, after I do that, we'll be all done with our purse, and I'll show you what I have. I do hope you enjoyed our little mini messenger bag. Mine measures 6.5 by 8 inches. My strap is long enough so that I can crisscross it across the front of my body. As I lift it, I can place my things inside and close it, and the flap, being that it is with 3 yarns, will stay heavy enough to keep it closed. So I hope you enjoyed our little mini tutorial on making this little bag. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy crochet and come back and visit with me again sometime, where we will make something else that you will enjoy having. Bye-bye.